Good evening and welcome to tonight's Week 7 Bushland Falcon Media Coaches Show. Sitting here with Coach Reynolds coming off of another weather-shortened game. Have you had a year where you've had two weather-shortened games before?
I don't believe so. I can't think of any off the top of my head. There's been, I think there's been years where there's been 6, 8, 10 years where we didn't have any, and we've had two this year. So, and most of them have been, it seems like most of them have been since I've been here in Bushland. So, definitely not what you want. You want to be able to play those games and get those in and really have the chance to get all the guys in that need to get in and need to get some playing time, and that's been the most frustrating thing about it.
I hate to use the term empty the bench, but maybe the better is just getting reps for some of those young guys. It felt like we were just getting to that point when the lightning kind of struck.
We were, I know, we had started to get some guys in on defense already. Offensively, we were going to let some of those guys on the offensive line, some of those younger guys, and those backups get a lot more time than they're used to. And we had that lined up, ready to go. Then that horn went off, and I thought we were going to be okay. During the whole first half, you kept looking back to the northwest and the west, and I just kept seeing lightning. And then we got to halftime, and you look at the radar, and it was a ways out. And I thought we were going to be able to get the game in, and we got that third quarter done, and all of a sudden it was getting close, and that horn went off. So, like I said, pretty frustrating. As far as just you want those guys, you want all those guys. All of our kids work so hard. You want everybody at some point to get the opportunity to go in and play, and it's definitely frustrating.
In a weather-shortened game, your quarterback still found a way to set the school record for all-time touchdowns, and it was pretty neat because one of the people that owned that record, being Jared Thomas, got to be there because I talked to him at halftime, and he was kind of thinking, man, can he hand that ball off? I'd like to stay tied with him. But and he was saying it jokingly, but just in good fun of just how but he talked about how special of a night that is because it's hard to score seven, not just seven, which Taylor Cornelius and Jared Thomas both held the record tied with, but to get to 8 touchdowns, especially in a three-quarter game, how you've been there as a player. How hard is that? Just how special of a night did DJ have?
It was, obviously. I mean, you're involved in that many touchdowns. It's a heck of a night, And I think he didn't have very many incompletions. He just played a really good, clean, crisp football game from the quarterback's standpoint. And I didn't even know. I heard somebody told Coach Avon after the game, and he's telling me on the bus. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I remember that when Jared tied, Taylor, and obviously I remember when Taylor did his as well. I think his was, I feel like maybe Milshu one year. I can't remember, but I remember both of them vaguely. And then this one here, and I knew Dawson was having a great game, but I don't think it really hits you that 8 touchdowns involved in that many, and then it's like, wow, I guess you start counting them up, and he threw 4 to Tanner and Kay, I guess so, and I had to make sure. I remember the Jared tying it, and I also thought, how is Colton Moore not involved in that too? As many touchdowns as he. And I feel like I went back and looked. I have those stats from his year, and he had 6 multiple times, which is crazy too. He had 6 multiple times, and but anyways, yeah, just like I said, just a great performance, great individual performance. Obviously, it takes other guys to make it happen. Absolutely. It takes great receiver play, great lineman play, in both the run game and the pass game. So just a really cool night to be a part of.
And I think this won't shock you at all about your quarterback, but when I text DJ and said, hey, we'd love to have you on, local legend player of the game, and he said, can I bring my O-line with me because they deserve the credit? Yeah. He goes, they did it all that night.
Yeah.
And and we're going to get them. Just so, and I talked to you a little bit ago. That's one of the things we're going to do in that bye week, that open week. I want to get those trench guys. One, because we interviewed them last year, and they're funny. Like, they're a whole different mindset. But you almost have to be to play that O-line, don't you?
Yeah, I think those linemen want to come. They just want that number 3 up there, that 3 meets and 2 sides up there. But yeah, it's cool that Dawson will want those guys to come be a part of it. He knows. He knows those are the guys that don't get the credit, man. And they're doing the hardest jobs. The physical combat every single play. We talked about that today in practice. That those guys. I mean, we know they have the hardest job out there. You know, they have to. They can't go out there like a receiver sometimes does and kind of fake a screen on a run play and act like you're blocking somebody or whatever. Okay, they're in it. They're in it physically every single play.
Yeah, there's no running your guy off out of the play as a no lineman. So now, how this one obviously was called quick. Was was that a decision just because both teams had so far to go that it was like, hey, let's get out of here while most of us are healthy?
It was a combination of kind of what the score was at that point. We played 3 full quarters. Both sides were pretty healthy. They had the one kid that went down early, but he ended up being okay. And then the fact that we're traveling 3 hours, they're traveling 4, and both of us have district next week. So, and then you looked at the radar, and it looked like it was just back building, coming in. It looked like it was going to be a while before we were going to have a chance to get back out there. Of course, we hit the road, call it off, hit the road, and get past Lubbock, and I looked back at the radar again, and
it's all
fell
cleared
apart,
out.
which is about typical. But at that point, we wanted to give it a little bit and look at it, and it didn't look like it was going to clear up, so we just decided to pull the trigger on it.
And let's touch on that because we've had a couple people message us this week about the Riverside player. Obviously, you never want to see that in a game, but you did say he's good.
Yeah, he was back at halftime when we went back at.
Oh wow!
When we went into the locker rooms, he came out. He walked in with his parents. They did take him as a precautionary measure, I think. Anything, with the head and neck stuff, depending on. I think they felt like the severity of it. Safe thing to do is just take him in and get it checked out, just so they knew and felt better about it. And like I said, without speaking too much on it, just he was back when we walked in with his dad around halftime.
That's
so
awesome.
It's good. I talked to the coach Saturday, and he said he was doing good. So hopefully that he'll heal up, and our prayers are with him. And that's always a scary situation.
When those kind of things happen, obviously it was our second offensive play of the game, I believe.
It was the first.
Or it was first. That's right. It was. That we just swung it out to Kate, and they collide over the other sideline. And there is an extended break. How hard is that to kind of because obviously even when it's not your own teammate, football is a band of brothers anyway. Like there's just it's two groups of warriors on the field, kind of with that mindset of nobody wants to see somebody hurt. What is that like for the players coming back? Was there any talk of it, or was it just straight back to business?
No, I think everybody had a level of concern. Obviously they're players because that's their brother, that's their buddy, But I think everybody had a pretty good idea that he was going to hopefully be all right, just because he was talking, and I was standing right there the whole time, and he was talking. He was kind of passing everything, and moving body parts and all that. So I think it was, like I said, I think precautionary, take him in. I think everybody felt pretty decent about that. So there's 2 parts of it: the mental part and the physical part. If that's your teammate, there's 2 parts for sure. You got to become, the mental part of it is he okay? That's our buddy, and then the physical part is just getting your body ready to go again after 10, 15 minutes, not doing anything, which that's the least of your worries at that point. But that's why I kind of looked around at the ref and I was like, well, are we ready to go, or can we jog around? And he said, well, as soon as he gets off the field, we're ready. So I just kind of told the kids, as they got him closer to being off the field down there at the other end, I just said, just jog around for a second. We're about to go. So, there's definitely a concern, I think, as a coach, just, how are you going to respond to it? And I thought both teams were able to, I don't want to say forget about it. That's not the right thing, but kind of, put it
turn
aside,
their eyes back.
Turn their eyes back. All right, let's go play.
So early on, kind of felt like we might be into a boxing match there. It went back and forth, got tied at 21. But then what clicked? Because obviously we came out, we got a defensive stop, we got the ball, and then it never felt close again. Was it a conversation? Was it a play? Was there something? Can you put your finger on kind of what turned that game?
Well, I feel like, we got a little momentum. We answered their first score, went down and scored real quick. Got a stop, I believe, scored in one play, and then I think that was when we kicked off and they fumbled it, and we got it back and went down and scored. So we kind of answered it in all three phases of the game there by scoring on offense, getting stops on defense, and recovering a fumble on special teams. They kind of scored a time or two to get back in it after that, though, tied up, I believe, or maybe cut it 28-21. I can't remember, but it was, I thought it wasn't anything said. Just I think we needed to, in a couple of phases of the game, just settle down and do our job. I think sometimes when things get a little bit hectic, and I think that's what we need to learn with this group is things get hectic. We're not going to be perfect, but we just got to settle down and settle in and do our job. And I thought we did a pretty good job the rest of the night after that. They have a good team. They're 4-1 coming in, scored a lot of points. They've given up some points too, but they've scored a lot of points. And, it's like I said last week, those guys weren't just going to quit. I know their head coach well enough. He's a great guy. They have a great program. Their kids play hard, and we respected them. And they weren't just going to pack it up and go home. And they kept swinging too. And I think both of us got what we wanted as far as two teams that just kept fighting and made each other play hard.
Well, great overall win. Obviously, it felt like offense just had it. So here's your stat. I started because I told Chris, I said, I feel like when we get the first down, that first down, we tend to always score. On the 8 drives that we converted the Jasper Plumbing first down, that very first one, we scored touchdowns on all 8 of the drives.
Yeah.
Anytime they could stop it, they got us off the field. And I know you talk a lot about that first down being so key, and it was interesting to kind of track it because out of the 10 drives that we had, 8 of them we got that first down, and then obviously one of the 9th one, Easton just took it to the house on his first down. And so, well, we'll turn our eyes to Muleshoe here in a second. Before we do, we'll take a quick break, get a couple of our sponsors in. Always grateful for them, and we'll come back and preview district and talk Muleshoe for this Friday night. We'll be right back.
AA&A Windshield and Glass is a proud sponsor of the Bushland Falcons. We are a one-stop shop, and we'll get it done right. We are a family-owned and operated business for over 35 years, and we specialize in windshield replacement installation and rock chip repair. We offer scheduled appointments in our shop, or we'll come to you with our mobile service. Call us today at 806-353-9119 or fill out our contact form at aawindshieldglass.com to get started. See clearly with AA&A Windshield and Glass.
No one said living here was simple. They just said it was worth it. This land wasn't easy to settle. More than 30 years in business will teach you that. Her elements are fierce and forceful. Amarillo continues to grow her way. Your body shop should too. Loki's Body Shop, built for Amarillo.
Danny Richburg of Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of the Bushland Falcons, our school, and our community. As a financial advisor, he wants to know what is important to you. Not everyone has the same goals, aspirations, and plans for the future, and that's okay. Whether you're focusing on retirement, a loved one's education, your lasting legacy, or a trip around the world, he would like to help. If you're serious about your investments and understand that it takes a plan, but you don't have a plan, you need to visit with Danny. Whether that's across the desk, at your kitchen table, or on the phone, he's available for his clients. So give Sarah a call at his branch office at 806-352-2980, 806-352-2980, and set up a time to meet with Danny. New Vision Exterior Solutions is a proud sponsor of our Bushland Falcons. At New Vision Exterior Solutions, they take pride in and are committed to their work. With an increasing number of successful projects under their belt, they can proudly say they are one of the most trusted seamless gutter installation companies in Amarillo, performing both residential and light commercial work. New Vision Exterior Solutions can handle all of your gutter needs, including removal and installation, hail damage, wind damage, and leak guards. New Vision can also stain new and old fences and make those old fences look new. So give Brock Hall a call at 806-517-0533 and let New Vision Exterior Solutions provide a free estimate.
Back, and here with Coach Reynolds at Mitch's Barbecue. Come on down, get some Texas barbecue. They have a new thing going now that they just rolled out, and I don't know if it's been around, but I did see the marketing for it tonight. Man, if you can't make it to Muleshoe on Friday night, come down here and get you a Mitch's Party Pack. They can feed 12 people in this Mitch's box for about $13 a person. And I don't know that you can feed anybody for $13 a person good barbecue, but they have these perfect Mitch's Party Packs. But always grateful for our friends over here that host us. But Coach Reynolds, now that we've turned your past week 6, you turn your eyes towards district. Obviously, you're opening up with what some may say is going to maybe your toughest district game. I can't remember a time that we've gone to or played Muleshoe, period, where they were higher ranked than us. And not that rankings matter, but just a testament to the season that Muleshoe's having, because they come in 6-0. Dave Campbell's has moved them into their top 10. What do you see in Muleshoe that obviously maybe looks a little different than years past?
Well, they're playing with confidence. Like I said, they're 6-0. They believe they're playing with confidence. You can just tell about, it starts, with their quarterback play. Their quarterback's playing really well. They have 2 good running backs that they roll in and out. They have a kid, H-back, that, he's like a big, strong offensive lineman that's athletic, that they slide out, in the flats, and they put him in routes and everything. They're just, playing well right now and scoring a lot of points. They're winning, and they're winning convincingly. It's not like they're 6-0 and they've won, 5 score contests. They've won convincingly in all their games, and they're feeling it, and we have a lot of respect for those guys, and Coach Richards, and he's done a good job, and I knew he'd get those guys to this level. So we're looking forward to a great atmosphere, and we're looking forward to a great game.
Yeah, Muleshoe's averaging over 40 points a game, which I don't remember a time that I remember their offense humming like it is now. And they're not just speed. Sometimes we look at us and we like to be outside.
Right.
They love to pound it up the middle, run between the tackles. Sienna's maybe.
Yeah.
Daniel Sienna's. He reminds me of Easton Fuentes. Man, when they get moving downhill, they are hard to bring down. What are some of your key points maybe for the Falcons heading into there? Now that you've seen 6 weeks of where we're at, what are some key points that you're looking for heading into district that you want to say, hey, we're here. Like we've talked about it for going on 7 weeks. Let's go out and execute those.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing is you don't ever want to beat yourself. What I mean by that's, some of the things that we need to work on. Pre-snap penalties, both sides of the ball. Kicking game, we had multiple. We have some offsides issues. We have some false start issues. We had some offsides issues in the kicking game. Couple in the kicking game that, one of them could have cost us possession. We had a great onside kick there by Ty Purcell, and should have recovered it. But even if we did, we didn't line up correctly. So just those little things like that we can control. Those are little things that if we're attention to detail, we can control those things, So don't beat yourself. We feel like we're good enough, we're athletic enough that if we eliminate those types of mistakes, you're going to have you play 100 snaps or more in a ball game, there's going to be mistakes made. But if you can eliminate those type of mistakes, the pre-snap penalties, maybe just not lining up right, or maybe not, so it's just kind of a weird game the other night in some aspects. We had several times with just communication. We didn't either run the right route or run the right play. It was just those little things like that. You got to get rid of those. And we feel like if we get rid of those things, our kids play extremely hard. I don't think there's a group out there. I haven't seen a group out there that we've played or on film, anybody that plays harder than we do. And that's both sides of the ball. I have coaches come and tell us all the time, just brag on our kids how hard they play on both sides of the ball, and they want to know how we do it. And I said, well, it's because we have great kids, and they'll play for each other, and they play for their program. And if we'll continue to play hard and clean up those other mistakes, those mental mistakes, those, like I said, the pre-snap penalties, things like that, ultimately we'll roll it out there and go see what happens, and I'll like our chances if we can do those things. So, just you don't want to give the other team anything, I guess is what I'm getting at. You got to make them earn everything, whether that's staying on sides or not jumping, or maybe that's lining up right, or just, all right, they got a 5, they threw a 5-yard completion. Let's make the tackle right there at 5 yards instead of missing a couple of tackles, then it turns into a big play. It's all those things like that. Make the other team beat you is what we want to do.
I had a guy ask me this past week. He said, the one thing I always notice about Bushland is they never quit. And I said, there's a testament to it because Coach Reynolds preaches, if you can get him down, you can live to fight another down. And I would love to go back and almost track it, since we tracked the first downs, I almost love to go back how many times. I don't know that we've given up a touchdown when we've made a tackle inside that 15 and in, when we've tracked it down from behind. Because there was even a big play with Riverside where we make a tackle far down the field that you think once it breaks, they're like, oh, they're going to get this. Mm-hmm. And I think Tag Thrash is actually the one that tracked him down this time. But just living to play that extra down ended up and they're coming back. They went for it on 4th down. They turned it over to us. And those kind of plays, man, you're right. These guys not only do they go hard, but, man, they don't quit on anything.
No, that's all based off effort. If you care and you're going 100% all the time, you're going to make some plays like that helps your team. And like you said, there was the other night there was one. There were several times I could think. I remember we even going back to our first scrimmage this year against Canyon, and I think we had some. I want to say it may have been. It was Jay Cameron. They busted a long play. It's a scrimmage, He's way away from the play, but because he cares and he plays hard, he runs the guy down. They pop a long one. He runs the guy down and tackles him about the 8-yard line, and then we end up keeping him out. They don't score. That's the difference I see sometimes is when I know our kids are going to play hard and give it all they got every time. Sometimes you turn on other films of other teams, and you're not seeing that all the time. Ball goes away from them. They're going to take it off and jog. So that's why I love our kids so much because it means a lot to them, and they're going to play hard all the time.
And with effort sometimes comes what I would call a very questionable targeting penalty on Ty. I've had a couple people reach out. Is there any rollover from that, or is Ty going to be good to go on Friday night?
New change of rule, this year is that it will not carry over until this week's game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So any targeting stuff, you get ejected. They can deem it. They don't have to eject you, but they can if they feel like it's flagrant. So if they do that, you miss the rest of that game, but not the first half of the next game. That's only for other personal fouls such as fighting, throwing a punch, stuff like that.
That's good news because, man, Ty is on a roll, and you talk about a guy just try to make a play, come up, dislodge a ball it was a bang, and
that's tough on players and officials because all they've been told for a handful or more of years now is to basically, in some aspects, take the physicality out of football.
Absolutely.
Now, what they're trying to prevent, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to take away, head injuries, stuff like that. There's only so much you can do, So it's hard. It's hard to get on officials because they have a job to do and they've been told, stress this, look at this, call this, make sure. That's what they're being told. At the same time, you got a 17-year-old kid that's flying across the field trying to dislodge the ball at the same time the ball's arriving. Yeah. I don't think anything was intentional. He's trying to fly in there and hit the kid hard and knock it loose.
Yeah.
So, you can't do anything about it, now or at that point after it's done. So you just got to roll with it. But like I said, Ty's playing well. He's kind of a prototypical free safety where he can come in and play the run and has enough range and instincts to play over the top of everything and make a lot of plays in the passing game.
And he is not afraid to stick his
shoulder pad in. I love it, too. I love it.
He is a defensive coach's dream, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's doing a great job.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on, taking time. As always, heading into district, season starts over 0-0, right?
Yes. Yeah. This is the first step. We talked about it. Nothing really matters up to this point, because this is our first. As far as team goals, this is really where we're getting to talk about our first one. That's a win a district championship outright. And you have to take one day, 1 week at a time, and you don't get to that if you don't take care of week one. And then we know it's going to be a great test, and this is just the first step. and 4 steps that we want to take care of. Nothing before, nothing after. Next week, nothing matters other than getting ready to go this Friday night.
Well, Coach, good luck in Muleshoe. We'll be there. If you can't be there, tune in. We go live at 6:30. Kickoff will be at 7, live from Muleshoe. We'll be back after this break with our local legend player of the game, Dawson Jacobs.
Whether you need a building to grow your business or you simply need more space for a backyard workshop, look no further than Tightwire Construction. Kurt and his team will get you the most out of your metal building and take pride in exceeding your needs with great customer service. To talk about your next project, give Kurt a call at 806-683-6842 or visit tightwireconstruction.com. And as always, go Falcons!
New Vision Exterior Solutions is a proud sponsor of our Bushland Falcons. At New Vision Exterior Solutions, they take pride in and are committed to their work. With an increasing number of successful projects under their belt, they can proudly say they are one of the most trusted seamless gutter installation companies in Amarillo, performing both residential and light commercial work. New Vision Exterior Solutions can handle all of your gutter needs, including removal and installation, hail damage, wind damage, and leak cards. New Vision can also stain new and old fences and make those old fences look new. So give Brock Hall a call at 806-517-0533 and let New Vision Exterior Solutions provide a free estimate. The Bushland Falcons are a symbol of excellence in all athletics. So when the Falcons take the field, there is no room for error. Vanessa McDonald with Lions Realty feels the same way about her job. As a real estate professional with over 20 years of experience, Vanessa knows there's no room for error when it comes to your real estate goals. Vanessa's real estate experience combined with a forward-thinking company behind her makes for a winning team for her clients. Give Vanessa a call for a free home analysis at 806-336-7885.
Hope Choice is a faith-based, pro-life organization that assists women facing an unplanned pregnancy by providing free pregnancy tests, sonograms, educational classes, and baby supplies. Hope Choice is also helping young people and parents by taking a stand against society's influences that are threatening today's families. By offering free mentoring programs to young people ages 8 to 18, retreats, and character building presentations for students in the schools, Hope Choice is changing culture one heart at a time. Learn more about the mentoring programs, events, how to volunteer, or become a financial partner by visiting hopechoice.com. That's hopechoice.com.
The Bushland Falcons are a symbol of excellence in all athletics. So when the Falcons take the football field, there is no room for error. Vanessa McDonald with Lions Realty feels the same way about her job. As a real estate professional with almost 20 years of experience, Vanessa knows there's no room for error when it comes to your real estate goals. Fortunately, Vanessa's real estate experience, understanding of clients' needs, forward-thinking company behind her, and her love for the Bushland community all combine to form a winning team for her clients. So give Vanessa a call today for a free market analysis on your home at 806-336-7885. Once again, that's 806-336-7885. And as always, go